All right, this is gonna be a very serious episode.
Okay, sure.
Get ready, guys. Serious face. Don't joke.
Glasses.
We got him, but
So there's a study by Western Michigan University, and it gives really detailed explanations on how to detect and help stop somebody who's contemplating on
Suicide? Oh, that's actually important to know, huh?
Yeah, and we're gonna go ahead and review those things and see if these are things that.
First guess? Can I take a first guess? Yes. Call the National Suicide Hotline. No?
That's a good guess. I'm gonna say in the Family Feud. I'm gonna say that would be the top.
No, that's not good.
top five. I wonder what they say in those hotlines. I might call it, but I don't want to take up the
Just
line.
to test it?
Because what if I take up the line and the guy's actually trying to like do it, and then it's all beep beep beep. You know the whole.
Because they only have one line for the nation.
Because Joe's trying to test the quality.
Hey, but every business needs a secret shopper.
Yeah, but what if there's like only 50 people, right? And the 49 lines are taken up and I'm the 50th one. So the 51st suicide guy is like calling in and he gets a busy signal and he goes, all right, and he jumps off the bridge. It's be my fault.
You know, I think the suicide hotline people are very helpful. I think they're probably very good at their jobs.
I want to know what they say.
Well, the first thing is to recognize the warning signs. What are some warning signs that you
That's
think?
hard, man. Like, look at my dad, dude. This fool's fucking stone-faced and shit. I don't know if he like. I don't even know if he likes double doubles at In-N-Out. Yeah, get past that.
That's a warning sign right there. If you don't know if they like double doubles at In-N-Out, that's the first warning.
Go when they bite.
Everywhere I've taken him.
You're at your breaking point, aren't you?
We go to regular, yeah, In-N-Out, McDonald's, or some crazy ass sushi place where there's gold foil, or Hell's Kitchen. I take him all over the place, and then everything. I'm like, is it good? He's like,
I think that's a sign, bro.
Yeah, maybe that's
Yeah.
a sign because he thinks everything sucks.
He's numb to everything.
Huh,
they've been
interesting.
giving me signs for maybe like 37 years.
Number two is to take the statement seriously and trust your instincts. It says up to 75% of all suicides, they give a warning of their intentions to a friend or family member.
You're supposed to ask, do you have a plan to your suicide? That's what you gotta ask. You gotta ask that.
You know
Really?
what though? We need
Have a
one.
plan, then you gotta be like, hey, yo. No, for real. Yeah, because like when people say that they're thinking of suicide, the next step is usually like, do you have a plan?
That's right. That is exactly what it says.
Really?
Yes. If the answer is yes to them contemplating suicide, do you have a plan to take your own life?
Because if they got a plan, that means they're fucking about their business. They're about that action.
And then you're supposed to also ask, do you have the means or materials to act out the plan?
And it says, have you ever thought of how you would do it? Pussy.
If you need help, I can get the required tools.
So you don't have a fucking plan? Say that.
Yo,
You
that's
don't have a
good.
fucking plan?
Hey, is this about how to assist the suicide, or is it about like?
I don't think so.
It might be by the end of the video.
You know, one of my cop friends this is actually cultural too.
Why?
Like he shows up to a lot of scenes, right? And Asians, they like to hang. And then a lot of like white people like to do the pill route. And then a lot of Hispanics and white people also like to do the gun in the mouth route.
Wow, that's dirty.
Yeah, it's actually very cultural. Wow. And a lot of it's weird how there's like a cultural way of like, because when it happened to my pops, I was talking to one of my friends. He was just like naming it out. Was it like this? Was it like this? Was it like this? I was like, oh shit.
So black people don't do suicide, huh?
Or they do it their own way. He didn't explain the way he did it.
So he just had Asian, white, and Hispanic.
Yeah.
no.
Did you know? I think that's one of the biggest killers of white males right now. Is suicide? Yeah. The number one. I think it's like a huge kind of
Is it
thing.
because they're at
that's
the top of the food chain and nothing else can get them?
happening. But themselves.
He's doing the work for you,
It's
dude.
like a shark killing himself.
But themselves.
So I guess there's nothing else to live for.
Bored. I'm fucking
Lion's
bored.
putting a gun in his mouth.
I'm gonna just go on the sand.
I'm the king of the fucking ocean.
I think there needs to be another set of criteria for like middle-aged Asian men, because they come out of nowhere. I think. Like I don't know if the warning signs are the same. So like, I know another.
Use these for Asians.
For Asians, use a different strategy.
It's just out of nowhere they kamikaze attack you, dude. So like one of my ex's uncle, we all had dinner, like a family dinner one time, laughing his ass off. It was great, right?
Yeah.
That night, he took pills, killed himself. And so
Breaking stereotypes though with the pills.
Yeah.
There's a
You ever
different
go back to the conversation and think like, okay, what joke? Did I tell a joke that was like pretty bad? Like,
Did I fuck up?
It was so bad that he had to do
bad?
it.
He's like, oh, I don't want to live on the
Why is
wall.
this middle-aged Asian guy laughing a lot? Is that a sign?
Oh, that's like, he's too jolly. No, he's always been a jolly guy. It took everybody by surprise. But in his like little suicide note or whatever, I guess he had a illness that he just couldn't live with, and no one knew about it. And also, he was just thanking everybody as like that was this last dinner that he wanted to do.
Whoa!
So it was in his mind that was a good last time. He wanted that memory. He wanted to pass with that.
Can you stop that though? You can't stop that. That's
No.
So it's been planned, dude.
There's a rumor that Robin Williams was having something like that going on, like some kind of medical thing that he didn't want to have his family deal with.
Yeah. So yeah, a lot of people do that because they get a diagnosis and they just don't want to live with it. They don't want to die slow.
They don't want to suffer.
Yeah. So
People
then,
through it, like that kind of shit.
Yeah.
But he put the rest of the family through it by fucking, you know,
surprise suicide is crazy.
especially next to his wife, right? Waking up all fucking. Yeah. What the fuck?
Here's some really here's some bullet points and some suggestions on.
Bullet, strong word there, buddy.
Bullet point.
Hey, hang on. All right. It says, get involved, become available, show interest and support. Don't dare them to do it.
Okay, we needed to hear that. We needed to hear that.
Shut the fuck up, dude.
Okay.
Yeah, Nick.
Do it.
We needed
Do
to.
it.
Closer
pussy.
to the edge.
Do
Get
it.
closer.
You're not gonna do it.
Look over the building.
You don't fall through anything in your life.
That's your
Dare you to
problem.
live.
When a guy always uses that as a threat when a girl breaks up with them, I tell all my female friends, I tell them fucking do it.
Because those guys aren't gonna do it.
They're not gonna do it. They're using it as a they're using themselves as a hostage.
These are pussies.
That's I almost like when you use suicide as a threat. I
Yeah.
almost think you deserve to be gone.
That's exactly what I said.
Yeah.
I'm like, why do we want this pathetic shit?
That's an attack. That's not like
that's a
a
hit.
yeah.
You're using yourself hostage and you're using her sympathy against.
You're trying to ruin someone else's life.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it.
You're trying to get her to show that she cares about you still, which is so fucking.
What the real thing is this. Suck my dick right now.
That's what they're basically doing.
Exactly. It's like, what the fuck?
And for me, I'm like,
so confused.
Before I do it.
We can't afford to lose Bart. Do it.
Fucking second.
and to me, it's a win-win situation because if he doesn't do it, then you know he's a little bitch. And if he does do it, then great, she could get with somebody better. Yeah.
It says offer empathy, not sympathy.
Well, fuck that. I don't have either or.
What do you have?
Gratitude.
Oh, cool.
All you gotta say is I understand where you're coming from, and then
It says never promise to keep the suicide a secret.
yeah, you should tell everyone about your.
Because you know some people are like, don't tell anybody I've been feeling like this.
I'm like, nah, I got your ass. I'm gonna tell everybody.
You know what's crazy? Like
I'm gonna tell your mom.
I think about signs with my pops, and there probably were some, but it's also like it's hard to differentiate some of them because he's also like crazy too. So like there's some that I'm like, oh shit, I think that was a true sign. But so my dad also has like 12 Costco shoes. So he's just a weird person, right? So his behavior is like there's no pattern.
Premeditated shoe purchase.
Yeah, so you'll be like, oh shit, like he was like, I found this deal at Costco, so I calculated if I change shoes like every fucking, I don't know, 2 years or whatever,
Practical,
I'll buy these shoes.
Is 12 Costco shoes on the list?
So I was like, I'll never need to buy any other shoe ever again. And so, so when my dad, like, I think within the last 60 days of him being alive, he gave me his Rolex, and he goes, give this to Taika one day. And I'm like, what? I'm like, you give it to when he graduates high school. I'm like, I don't want to hold on to it, just put it in your safe. I'm like, all right. So like, because you're not thinking anything like
That is a warning
so
sign.
that's a warning sign. Then the last day, so my dad, he lived with us, and then the last day we're gonna move out of our apartment into the house that we live in now, he was gonna go live with my mom, right? That last day, he goes up to me, puts his hand on my face, and he goes, see you in the next life.
Whoa.
And then I was like, okay. But in my mind, I'm like, this motherfucker's always saying crazy shit anyway. So I'm like, I don't know what the fuck. I'm like, I'm gonna see you on Tuesday. I'm gonna see you next Tuesday anyway. So I was like, whatever.
Yeah.
And then
That's not just a sign. That's a Vegas sign, dude. That's crazy.
Vegas sign was
It
Vegas.
looks like it's bright lights.
Well, I don't know.
That's like Arrow's landing strip right here.
But he also says crazy shit all the time, so I don't know.
I guess if he's always
Yeah.
saying
It's like
something.
it's almost consistent, but not.
Exactly.
It's like it's too much.
Yeah, it's like it's consistently inconsistent, right? And then like
You think before they do that though, they kind of know that shit though.
Or maybe
He had
he's been
to.
trying. What if for the past 5 years he's been trying? So he goes, "This is the final time," and he says something crazy to Bart as if it's the last, and then he goes, "Nah, I ain't gonna do it." Right? So he could have been like, "This is the last" to Bart for the last 5 years.
Because the first time I even got like, even like 1%, like what the fuck is that supposed to mean? Is when I called him, I told him, hey, me and Gio decided to move to Vegas. And he goes, oh, what about me? Should I move to Vegas? I'm like, no, I don't know. I don't even know if I'm gonna like it. So I'm like, let me live there for like maybe 2 years. So I get over the honeymoon phase. And if I still like it and I stay, then you guys you can move over. And he goes, okay, that sounds like a good plan. And then maybe 6 months in, when we're talking, he goes, I think I'm gonna sell the house and I'm gonna move to Vegas. And I'm like, oh, how come? He goes, I can't live by myself anymore. It's like, it feels like my life's over, I'm in jail. So when he started like using words like that, I'm like, okay, I don't immediately go, oh, suicide? I go, oh, he really doesn't like this. So I'm like, okay, let's sell your house and just move in with us. So we did that. So you would think that like, okay, cool, like whatever problem he has, there's kind of like this, like a cure, if you will, or some sort of resolve. And then he lives with us. And then there was one time where I think I had to come shoot JKNews, and for some reason I think like maybe like Taika had to check up on a seizure, so the whole family came here. And so he was just in our Vegas house by himself for like a week or something. And when I came back, he goes, don't ever do that again. Like I felt like my life was over. But he always speaks like that, and it just seems so exaggerated.
Dramatic sounding.
Yeah, so you're just like, what are you talking about? Like, I know your route. I showed you a place where you get, like, the stuff he only cares about is Chinese food and where to buy Chinese newspaper. That's what he does in Almani. That's what he does wherever the fuck he lives. I show him the route in Vegas. He knows exactly what to do. So all of those, you just kind of go, okay, like, is this just him being him? Because I've been hearing him say crazy shit like this ever since I was 5. Or does it even mean anything? But obviously things are clear in retrospect. So in retrospect,
he made you numb to it over time because he did crazy shit like that all the time.
Yeah.
I got you.
Oh, while you're living your own regular fucking life.
and then so in retrospect, then you start tracing back. Oh, see you in the next life. Give Taika my watch, and then then you're like, oh shit, maybe those were signs. But I just didn't see them because I was numb.
I get it. Damn, dude.
I don't know.
That sucks. Thanks for telling us that.
Yeah, seriously.
I mean, I want to help other people too because it happens quite often. It seems like.
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
A part of me though feels like sometimes they're suffering so much that who am I to tell them no?
Yeah, that's
Because like, at least for me, I don't know many cases of youthful, suicide. It's usually older guys that are like, I have an illness, or I remember toward the end of your father's life, Bart, like it seemed like he was suffering with dementia or some kind of deafness and some issues, right? Health problems.
Yes.
So I'm like thinking, what if they're just like waking up confused and like whatever's happening, they don't understand. They don't have they don't have coping mechanisms. They're constantly in pain. So I'm like, maybe it's the way they're gonna go out that's scary or like sudden or whatever. But at the same time, I'm like, I can't change their suffering and help them. And who am I to say like, now you need to spend the next 15 years until you die peacefully. They're not even dying in peace, they're dying in agony. So I'm like,
and he was lonely, so lonely that he went back with Bart's mom.
Yeah.
He tried to force fuck that situation. Like,
Yeah. Damn.
so it's kind of a confusing. I would see like maybe if a young person was like, my life is over, and it's like, dude, you're 22. Like a lot of things are gonna change. Don't worry about it. Yeah. I would say that to them. But if they're in their 70s and on, and they have major health problems, it's hard for me to be like, there's still a chance. You know what I mean? Like, I can't. Yeah.
Have that conversation.
it's hard to shame them for it because it's like you have no right to almost.
Yeah. But I think anyone younger than that, I don't know. I think there's still a lot to love about life, but that's also my perspective.
Yeah, that's true. It is like unique to everybody.
Because one person that I do think should kill himself is my father. But, a lot of people that should, they don't, right? And then someone that probably like Bart's dad that has family, that has grandchildren, that has like a chance, like he doesn't, but my dad's like a lonely narcissist, and then he's just like, I'm still fucking fighting. And it's like, why? Everyone wants you dead already. You're a burden to society. You just fucking...
Like he's never gonna stop.
Yeah.
He's never gonna
Can't
stop.
stop, won't stop.
You could read this list and just try the opposite on it.
Check. Let's hope he does this, that.
Those guys live forever, though.
Like,
you know what I mean?
fuck, dude.
Yeah, those guys are Highlanders for sure.
You gotta chop off heads. Roaches, dude. Get rid of them.
Well, I mean, if you guys want to check this out for yourself, it's a pretty useful list. It's got a lot of things on it that I didn't realize. Like, it says don't ask why. Apparently that's a pretty big trigger to get people to start to think of more reasons and get defensive. So you kind of aren't supposed to prod and to be like, why would you want to do this?
Not even top 3 list.
I also think the worst thing you could
You
do...
look like a 90s agent when you
I
say
think the
that.
worst thing you could do is give advice.
Yeah, it really says not to...
Sit there and give advice.
You should give advice. Try to help them out of their situation.
We have, you know, a community group that continues to check in on us. That's what we're always gonna check in with Nick. You know what I mean?
Nick check-ins every
we got
day.
another Nick check-in coming
Nick
up
check-in.
soon, so
Every
stay
day.
tuned for that.
Tell me what you would do in my situation.
You gotta just give space for people, you know, and check in before the signs get too crazy. Because if they feel like they have a space, you know, before things get crazy, Nick, then
Too many check-ins will make me commit suicide.
And just as...
And we knew Nick was joking when he said that, so we just kept doing it.
Also, as a reminder, if anybody ever uses suicide as a weapon or any kind of way to blackmail you into doing something, just leave. Just block them, leave.
Anthony, if you keep talking to me, I'm gonna kill myself, dude. Please.
hey, you know what? I don't have sympathy for you, but I have empathy for you. And what I would love to do is not dare you to do it.
He read the article.
shit,
This guy read
dude.
the article, dude.
All right, I'm not gonna do
Joe's got nothing but gratitude for you.
But tell me your plan.
Also, if someone's suicidal, don't show them Cider House Rules.
What are some of your short-term plans?
It's a bad movie.
Short-term.
You need any supplies?
Where do you see yourself in 5 minutes?